centuries since the Cape Verde Islands were discovered and colonized by the Portuguese, sailors have come and gone out of Mindelo Bay. And turtles have been traveling back and forth to this, their home, for ages. The bay hosts the largest and best protected port for passing ships before heading out to cross the Atlantic. I just read Robinson Crusoe, who mentions Cape Verde while escaping enslavement by Moors in West Africa. Ironically, he was famously shipwrecked on his deserted island while on his way to pick up slaves to work on his plantation in Brazil. This was in the late 1600s. Cape Verde was a trading post for what was then a common practice. Since the abolishment of slavery, Mindelo was once a coal refilling station exploited by the British. Even the Soviets came here. This beached Soviet ship is a reminder. One of the many victims of the powerful winds we sailors are all too familiar with here at anchor. So it's no surprise that today's sailors continue to come to Mindelo before sailing off across the Atlantic. But many of today's sailors are leisure sailors, escaping enslavement from modern society for a little while. How things have changed. There are a couple of organized groups that stop over before crossing. The first is Rallye du Soleil, a French group who are the first to stop over during the fall crossing season. As soon as they've gone, another big group will sail en masse. So Nat and I want to sail to Santiago Island. It's the archipelago's biggest island, and we have yet to go there. And apparently there's a really nice anchorage. But before we get there, I wanted to make sure that everything was square with Galopin. And we've been stuck here with some issues, some boat problems. In the world, there are no problems, only solutions. So my problem was my batteries. They were getting old, they weren't holding a charge. So I found a place to buy new ones. I bought new ones, 3 200 amp hour batteries for 800 euros. So it's a pretty good deal. And they're Italian made, so I hope they'll hold out. I have faith in the Italian manufacturing. And those are all installed. Seems like the power is up and the refrigerator is back working. Now the ultimate test will be to sail with the autopilot. Well, that's a big issue when you're at anchor almost 100% of the time. You've got to generate power, you've got to get water, etc., etc. And power, I only have solar panels, and it's been cloudy for a while. Now it's finally sunny, everything's charging. Now, I know all of you are anxious to see Nat. Why isn't she in the latest videos? Well, she hasn't been around much, so she's got this friend called Emerson, which is a really cool guy. He's an engineer here, and he's part of the Cape Verdean elite, so she hangs out with him quite a bit, and they go to the nicest restaurants, and I'm not there to film it. Meanwhile, I hang out with more of the working class people and the drinking folks. So the difference between me and Natacha is she's more champagne and caviar, and I'm more grog and cachupa. If she spoke English, she could tell you all about it. But don't worry, she'll be back soon when her and I are just cruising alone. So in the next few episodes, she'll be featured, no worries. The marina is filling up, reserved for months in advance by the Atlantic Rally for Cruisers, better known as the ARC. Dozens of boats come down from the Canaries all together like a school of fish to moor at Marina Mindelo for a few days. There are several of my Swiss compatriots. This ritual has been going on for decades, initiated by world-class sailor Jimmy Cornell since 1986. It is now organized by the World Cruising Club. Cornell's idea was to unite cruisers for the long and lonely voyage across the Atlantic. It also added a level of security, as there is safety in numbers. It's a great way for part-time cruisers to get their experience of a major crossing. But it's not for all of us. The idea of following a pack, abiding to strict rules, and being on a schedule is not everyone's idea of sailing freely.
They do offer a lot of opportunities for residents here to make a few dollars during the crossing season. Peixe gets a real high working with us foreigners. It seemed that they were leaving as soon as they came, except for a few who found themselves stuck due to repair issues, just like me, who was waiting for a new battery pack. The difference is, I will not be crossing, but will continue to visit the 4 islands I still have yet to visit: Maio, Santiago, Fogo, and Brava. These rapid sailors are in a hurry to get to the crowded Caribbean, and they've only tasted a tiny snack of the 10-course island experience that is Cape Verde. Historically the time to catch the trade winds drifting swiftly across the ocean. It seems as of late you can cross all year round. The winds are almost continuously blowing. The natural harbor is filled with boats. It gives an early feeling of what many Caribbean anchorages look like, crowded and busy. This is one of 3 turtles we regularly see in the bay. There are 2 little ones and 1 biggie, with a head as big as you and me. A good sign that the water must be good to them, and perhaps that they feed off the banana peels and other organic stuff we throw overboard.
Bem confessáveis, minha confissão. Gacha, minha paixão, amor, está fazendo mal na coração. Esse caminho é longe. Ai, uai, corta-me esse caminho. Papai, bem, minha gatinha.
The large group was only here for a few days, often corralled to group activities. I had the opportunity to meet Irish skipper Dermot and crew member Michelle, who were sailing this exquisite oyster. They contacted me to experience a bit of Mindelo outside of the ARC organization. I took them out to La Bodeguita, and they loved it. I mean, what's not to love? They were Irish, sailors, and thirsty for some grimy bar activities. There's one thing about Cape Verdeans, though. They are not grimy. Always clean, sharp, and sweet-smelling. Peixe always looks like a star. I had a smaller boat problem to resolve.
Being at anchor, you need a dinghy. So, and having a dinghy, it's best to have a outboard motor. Well, my outboard motor has been running pretty well ever since that I got it going a long time ago with Peixe and D. But now it seemed like it was overheating and it would die out after about a few minutes of running.
Help me! Mayday, mayday! Nossa, fresquinha gostosa como as peixe luminosa.
So it seemed like it got hot and stuff like that. I'm no mechanic, no expert, but I had a feeling that there was a problem with the cooling. So I went online, and on YouTube you can find just about any solution to your problems. I looked at the impeller problem because that's what cools the engine, and I learned that from my Perkins diesel. The impeller is very important to keep the engine cool. And so I took it apart, and look at what happened to my impeller. Now I know why the engine's not cooling. So I'm gonna look through the boat and see if there's an extra one here. Might be, you know, from the previous owner. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to get one.
I got one from French sailor friend Louis. Pure good fortune from good people.
Well, it took me all friggin' day to just change the impeller. With luck, a friend of mine had an impeller available, so I didn't have to wait a day for, you know, trying to buy one and find one. And then the other thing is trying to put the thing back together, the shaft back into the motor. Woo! I heard it was tough, and that was really tough. Took me like 3 hours, and now look at that, it's sunset, and check this out, man. Little Mariner outboard worked fine. It's cooling off with the water. I'm pleased. Now I just need to wash my hands and put everything away. Look at this mess that has befallen on Galopin.
Bem confessáveis, minha confissão. Gacha, minha paixão, por favor, está fazendo mal.
And there they all go, off to race across the Atlantic. It is said that there are about 6,000 boats that make the crossing each year. They are eligible to adorn an Atlantic Passage tradition, an anchor tattoo. But I don't think many will etch a permanent mark somewhere on their bodies. They are more like rich cigar-smoking Harley-Davidson weekend bikers than rough and tough Marlboro-addicted motorcycle gang members.
Yep.
The harbor is busy like midtown traffic. When they've all gone, Marina Mindelo will fill up with the waiting boats at anchor, ousted to make room for the Ark. Some are solo sailors, the ones who choose solitude as their only friend for the long passage. In a few days, we will finally set off, me and crewmate Natacha. As fun as it is to dance the night away in Mindelo, it's time to sail to some new Cape Verdean discoveries.
Gata morena, yeah, yeah. Gata morena, yeah, yeah. Chocolate. Você é que faz. Gata morena, yeah, yeah. Gata morena, yeah, yeah. Chocolate. Você é que faz. Gata morena, yeah, yeah. Gata morena, yo, yo.